Hello, my name is Cassidy Fowler. I am the registered dietitian with HealthLinc underneath the Food as Medicine program. Today I'm going to be talking to you about healthy eating during the holiday season. In front of me you may notice some ingredients, and I'll be going through those one by one at the end of this video. First and foremost is breakfast. I want to talk about what we eat first thing in our day. Our busy day of the holiday season is typically rushed around and we typically miss breakfast. Or we're choosing things on the fly or just trying to meet the bare minimum to get going and starting our day. It is very important for you to take the time to either prep it the night before, even 2 nights before, because leftovers are good in your fridge for 3 days, maximum 4. But choosing having breakfast is going to set you up for the rest of your day. And it gives your blood sugar a chance to be stable and not go too low. And then when you do have your first meal of the day, you don't overeat and cause it to go too high. We want to kind of keep a steady medium with our blood sugar control during the holiday season, especially because we know all the goodies are going to be at the table later this evening. The second step that I want to discuss is hydration. So if we're forgetting to eat, we typically forget to stay hydrated, right? Anything with caffeine does not get to count towards our hydration status. So even though we're drinking coffee, maybe some iced tea, or even our favorite soda, we're not getting hydrated from that. So important to choose non-caffeinated beverages such as water, lemonade, Crystal Light, even some juice. Those all have no caffeine in it, so again, it would count towards your hydration status. And that is important for all day health, especially towards the evening hours when we might be choosing other favorite drinks. The next step that I want to talk about is portion sizes. So having smaller portions of all of our foods is very important too. It also manages our blood sugar level to not go too high too fast. So things that escalate our blood sugar really quickly are simple sugars such as sweet treats, as well as those starchy vegetables and starches. So starchy vegetables include potatoes, peas, and corn. Typically we pair 2 of those together, right? Potatoes and corn. As well as having high starch foods. Stuffing is our great example here in this holiday season. Having a smaller portion of everything allows you to have everything that you like at your holiday dinners, but just making for sure that your blood sugar and blood pressure stay under control for those particular meals. The next step that I'd like to talk about is a this or that situation. Say you're at dinner and you kind of like this and you really love this. You know, you can play a this or that game with yourself. You know, you're gonna say no to the deviled eggs and yes to the pumpkin pie. Or you can say no to the mac and cheese and yes to the sweet potato casserole. Always try to do everything in moderation again. So if you like everything, perfect. But if you can, try to do a this or that situation, since usually there's a lot of options available. The next step I wanted to talk about is if it's an option to bring a dish. So you can always, prepare something that you think is healthy, or say it's a favorite dish that you like. It could be a tossed salad even, and that way you have a dish there that you know is healthy and you can choose that over the other items included. The next step I want to talk about is exercise. So while we're more, concerned with spending time with family, taking a quick walk midday is really beneficial to get our bodies moving and kind of take a break from the holidays too. So sometimes, the holiday season can be very overwhelming. You may not have, family for support or something like that. So taking time for your mental health during the season is very important too. All right, so lastly, what I wanted to go over is ingredient swap. If you're not the one cooking, this may be a little bit difficult for you because you're not preparing the dish, unless you were to bring a dish that you prepared yourself, right? So before me, like I mentioned, there are some options to switch things up, make healthier choices for our meals. Right in the middle is kind of like our seasoning section of my arrangement. I have olive oil, this butter, and Mrs. Dash seasoning. So olive oil is heart healthy, and choosing olive oil or canola oil is our best foot forward with choosing an oil when we're baking or cooking. The butter that I chose is Smart Balance. This one has actually extra virgin olive oil in it, and it supports healthy cholesterol levels. So this would be a better option than using stick butter or even lard or something like that. Lastly, in the ingredients pile is Mrs. Dash. This one is the table blend version. Mrs. Dash seasoning does not raise our blood pressure levels, and it gives us a way to season our foods without causing high blood pressure. Okay, so kind of moving into those more savory items. I have a reduced sodium chicken broth. It'll say right on the label, reduced sodium. This cuts the sodium down tremendously, which again, we're trying to watch the salt in our diet. So by choosing this product, we're adding less salt just from choosing a different product. As far as canned vegetables go, when we're making green bean casseroles specifically, this one also says no salt added. And sometimes it may be difficult to find these in the grocery store. You could always ask an associate to help. All right, going on to this side of the table is our turkey stuffing mix. And I wanted to mention too, there's not a low sodium version of this, right? So it's just to be mindful when we're preparing for a large family to see how many servings are in the nutrition facts label. So at the very top, it'll say how many servings are in the box. For stovetop stuffing, it is 6 servings. So you know, okay, if I have a family of 12, then I'll need 2 boxes, right? Maybe 3 just for leftovers for tomorrow. But that way you're ensuring everybody has a healthy portion. Okay, so kind of not talking about salt anymore, we're talking about sugar. There are some options too for whipped cream. So you can choose the light version, which means less fat, or you can even choose the sugar-free version, which has no sugar in it. So say if we're trying to be heart healthy, we could choose either one of these. As well as being a diabetic, you want to lean more towards the sugar-free option. All right, lastly, I saved the drink. We have some eggnog here, and looking at this nutrition facts label, there are 8 servings per container. A serving size is only a half a cup. So a cup is 8 ounces, so you want to have half of that. So 4 ounces is very important to make sure we're not having too much fat and too many carbohydrates. All right, guys, I hope I provided you with enough tips to survive this holiday season. And just remember to enjoy food. One of the greatest things about holiday season is being around friends and family and enjoying really good food. Don't feel guilty for eating anything. Just try to be mindful in your choices. Thank you very much.